So a lot of things changed whenever I moved from the city into the country. Two things I gotta say first. Number one, remember how at the end of part 1 of my love life story, I said I was straight? Yeah, that was a lie. I didn't want to lose subscribers, but if I'm being honest here, I would rather lose subscribers that don't support me than keep them. Number two, some people I'm going to talk about, yeah, some of them watch my videos, so this is taking a lot of courage to share this story, so yeah. Anyways, on with the story. Grab your popcorn and plushies and blankets, and also buckle yourself in, because this is gonna be a while. So, first day of summer. Pretty fun. Whenever I, officially moved in, it was the first day of summer, so look at that. Summer break in a new house. How fun. One day, my mom came in, I was playing video games, as you do, and she told me that there were guys hanging out outside next door. I mean, I wasn't too busy, so you know me, I went outside. We hung out in my garage while I drank my Sprite. Yes, I remember the drink that I was drinking. Then my mom suggested that she would get a board game for us. I'm like, okay, cool. And right as she left, the guys ran up to me and immediately asked, quick, what's your favorite video game? Genshin Impact. And the next thing I know, I'm talking to 5 guys in my garage while I'm just sitting there all confused. Then, whenever they had to leave, I got all of their numbers, so I mean, pretty impressive if you ask me. 5 dudes' numbers. I mean, weird flex, but okay, but hey, I think that's a pretty great day. But there's one guy you need to keep note of. We'll call him Thomas, because obviously I don't want to use real names here, so there you go. So, Thomas was the guy who actually lived next door to me, with the other 4 guys who he was hanging out with. I mean, the other 4 guys obviously lived somewhere else, they were just hanging out, if that wasn't clear. Anyways, so that night, Thomas and I were texting for a while until I was too tired to type. The next day, he came over and hung out in my garage again. We talked for a while until he had to leave, as you do. And I thought nothing of it and played video games for the rest of the day, because, that's just what I do. That night, we were texting again, but something happened over text that I wasn't expecting. I was talking to my friends and she called me a player because I was talking about how I got your number along with your friends, lol. What did you say about me and the guys? Do you like me or one of my friends, lol? Huh. That's a weird question. I'll just ignore it. I just said that you all came up and talked to me. Yeah. Do you like me or one of my friends? Okay, back to this. Well, maybe he means as a friend. Hopefully. Yeah, you all are hilarious. No, like. Didn't I just meet you guys the other day? Well, I've known you guys for a couple of days, so I don't know. Well, I'm just kidding. You'll find some guy at my school. Probably not, knowing my luck. You'll find the right person. I think you're cool, and if I knew you a little longer, I would have asked you out by now. Pardon? Seriously? Yeah. Why, though? I don't know, I think you're really cool. And you're cute. This guy has no shame, does he? What do you think of me? I thought you were going to be the loud one, but you're pretty quiet. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I have to go to bed now. I'll talk to you later. What just happened? Then a couple of days go by and I get another text. We talked for a bit. Then it got interesting again. Yeah, I was working on an art style because I found one that I like. Hey, do you like me more than a friend? Please be honest. Okay, first off, where did that come from? Second, not this again. Okay, calm down. I'll just try to keep my cool and answer politely. I've only known you for a few days, so I don't know if I do or not. Tell me once you know. Then this MFer sent winky faces to me. Like, bro, no, stop, I'm not interested. So the next guy is actually one of my close friends. So I sat at the same lunch table with his other friend and also my friends, who we'll call Ivory. Then there was also her man's and another friend of mine and Stefan's we'll call Aiden. A month later, I got a message from Ivory. Hey, just to let you know, Stefan told me that he's got feelings for you. Oh god, not again! Now, here's the thing before I continue this. I had blooming feelings for him. They were very little, but still there. But instead of saying something like, oh, I have little feelings for him like that, let's just see how it goes. I said, I kinda do too. Yeah, great going, me, but don't tell Stefan. Okay. Ivory told me. Ivory, you son of a— So for the rest of the day, I was pretty embarrassed. When it was time for lunch, Stefan was very touchy with me, and my dumb self thought nothing of it. Then he was more and more touchy with me throughout the day. Then at the final period, he told one of my other friends that we were dating. I was confused because we didn't go through with it. Like, we didn't talk about it at all. At the end of the day before I left, he gave me a kiss on the head and left. Once I got home, I explained to him that this was all moving way too quickly for me and that we should just remain as friends. So this technically wasn't my first relationship since we didn't talk about it, you know? Then later I remembered that he has a boyfriend, but he was in a poly relationship, so technically it wasn't cheating, but in my opinion, I wouldn't want to be in a poly relationship. There's nothing wrong with being poly, I just wouldn't be in one myself. The next guy we're going to talk about we'll call Brayden, and he was in my theater class, but he had COVID, so he wasn't there for 2 weeks, so you can imagine how confused I was whenever he walked onto the stage and I had no clue who he was. Later on, the school was hosting their first football game, so I went. I was watching the game when all of a sudden, Brayden walked up to me and started talking to me. The more we spoke, the more I was thinking, man, this guy is nice and cute. Wait, why am I feeling this way? Stop it! After the football game, me, Brayden, and Aiden, hey, look, their names are similar, would hang out and talk to each other during theater. A few weeks later, I realized that I'd caught feelings for Brayden. He and I even went to a homecoming dance. Not together as a date, but we just both found each other, so we just talked most of the time. And hey, he even asked for my number, so isn't that just so nice? The funny thing was I was planning on doing it that day too, so I'm like, hey cool, this makes my life way easier. Anyways, back to the story. I told Aiden and Stefan about my feelings, and they tried to set me up with him for months, so. Until one day, they started to tease me in front of him, saying stuff like, why don't you tell him? Come on, tell him. I bet you won't tell him. Like, guys, he's right there. He's like literally 2 feet away from me. Stop it. Then Brayden asked Aiden if he could guess what was going on, and he got it right. Well, time to go down a hole. Thankfully, the lunch bell rang, and I ran to my table to eat lunch. When it was time to go to class, I ran. Well, rather speed walked since the hallway was really crowded. But unfortunately, Brayden caught up to me. He tried to calm me down because I was a nervous wreck, but before he went to class, he said, oh, by the way, I like you too. What? So I went to class just like shocked on what happened. Like my face was red. Some chick was literally staring at me weird like, yo, you okay? I just shook my head no. I'm like, nah, I don't think so, bro. When I got home, he called me and asked me out because I couldn't say it for some reason. Maybe because I'm shy. Maybe that's the reason. Yeah, it was. Let's be honest here. It was. Then, you know, happy relationship for 5 months, but then broke up, you know. I was sad for a few days, but I got over it pretty quickly. Since, you know, first relationship, I knew it wasn't gonna last long. A few days after, since it was the weekend that he broke up with me, I was talking to Aiden about it and told him the whole story. But then I noticed some weird behaviors from him for the next month. He kept getting closer to me, physically and verbally. He would sit closer or stand closer to me, and he would talk a lot more. Plus, the way he looked at me was a giant red flag. My dude even called me cute and beautiful a few times. Like, excuse me? Like, seriously. I mean, this isn't part of the script, but I want to tell this part of the story anyways. I was wearing a really cute outfit, right? And before he went off to go get lunch or whatever, he just turned to me, he's like, you look really cute today. I just went, oh, thanks. And then as he walked off, I'm like, wait a sec, you called me cute. Well, hold on. Anyways, back to the script. Since I finally discovered what hints were, since back with my previous crush, I had no clue he was dropping hints that he liked me. I wanted to get it confirmed that he liked me first. Because it's like I was getting hints, I'm like, I feel like he is. But at the same time, I could be overthinking this. But one night, the night of a show I was doing, it was called Cry Me a River, loved it. I was stressed out of my mind. I was fidgeting, shaking, talking a lot since I talk a lot when I'm nervous. I was in Spanish class playing on my phone since I finished my work early because I'm a nerd. When Stefan turned to me and whispered, hey, just a heads up, Aiden has a crush on you, is thinking about confessing to you today. Just a warning. I freaking knew it! Except I didn't say freaking. By the way, I told Stefan and Ivory that I'm getting hints, like that he likes me, and I wasn't too sure if I was just overthinking it or if he actually did. They asked me if I liked him, and I told them that I didn't. So they knew how I felt about him, how I only saw him as a friend. I asked Stefan to ask him how long he's liked me, because, you know, I'm curious. And apparently it was a month after he met me. So let me get this straight. He had a crush on me while he knew I was in a relationship with his best friend. What the hell, man? So now I was stressed about 2 things. The show, and that a friend of mine could confess to me at any second. When I tell you I ran out of that classroom whenever the bell rang. I told Stefan to tell Aiden that I wasn't interested in him since I wasn't good at this sort of thing, and he said that he would. Backstage before the show, I told everybody in my theater class what was going on because I needed to vent someone, and they so happened to be talking to the person I wanted to vent to, so might as well tell them too. After the show, I asked Stefan, hey, did you tell him about my feelings for him, you know, how I don't like him, right? And he said no. Well, tell him before it's too late, man. Like, come on, help me. He told them, and now we don't talk as much as we used to anymore, which, if I'm being honest, I don't care about because I know that the conversations would be very awkward for me, and probably him too. So yeah, there's an update of my love life, going from getting rejected 24/7 to having 4 guys fall for me in the same year. It was a roller coaster of events and emotions, but hey, at least it made for one hell of a good story.